Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to CW Iowa Live. It's 7:11, and Ron the Car Guy is here from Westside Auto Pros. And a week ago today, Ron the Car Guy, we were discussing an article that was just published when you were going on the air with us last week from AAA, talking about premium gasoline.
Absolutely.
And how much it is worth and not worth to certain vehicles. And you said this is perfect timing because this is a topic people discuss all the time when it comes to what kind of gas do you put in your car.
Well, and this time of year a lot too, some of the marketing from the gasoline retailers, you know, they start talking about cold weather and quick winter starts and use the higher octane fuel. And we've talked about this for years, that it's just not necessary.
And this is a great discussion because it is so much more expensive for the premium blend of fuel nowadays as compared to what is considered the mid-grade or the lower-priced gasoline.
Absolutely, absolutely. Research showed $2.1 billion is wasted each year buying a grade of fuel that you don't need for your car. That's what consumers spend.
Hard to believe.
$2.1 billion. There's a B on there, and I mean that's just unimaginable amount of money.
Well, the mindset is if you're buying the higher octane, your car is going to run better and quicker starts, and everybody has the logical, path that they follow.
It's just like when you go to the grocery store. You've got the generic brand, and then you've got the name brand, and people oftentimes think that the name brand is better, and in some cases it is, and in some cases it isn't. But yeah, as far as gasoline goes, AAA released their study about a week ago, and they concluded that the use of premium fuel in a vehicle that doesn't require premium fuel, is just a total waste.
So how do I know if my vehicle needs higher octane?
That's a good question. It will tell you somewhere. I mean, not like physically speak to you and say I need high octane.
When you open up the gas.
Some cars probably do now.
That warning light doesn't come on.
It's amazing the gadgets that are on cars. But no, when you open up the fuel door, there's usually a sticker on there, or it'll say on the gas cap, 92 octane. There will be a labeling there if it requires the higher octane.
But what type of vehicles normally require that type of fuel?
Usually it's a performance vehicle. Corvettes, BMWs, Cadillacs. Some of the Acura lineups are the vehicles that are going to require that. You can always consult your owner's manual. Typically, if it needs high octane fuel, it will tell you somewhere around the fuel door or the gas cap. If it doesn't, it will usually either say nothing. And like I said, you can find that information in the owner's manual. If you're in doubt, call me. I mean, I'll look it up and tell you what it takes. But the majority of the cars on the road, 70% of the cars that are on the road require 87 octane fuel. 70%. So that leaves us 30%. And of that remaining 30%, only 16% require high octane fuel. So when you see when you see the 92 octane fuel, there's only 16% of the cars out on the road that actually need that. And then what happens to the other 14% of the fuel? Well, they're alternative fuel vehicles. They're they don't run on gasoline, or maybe they require something in between, but that's just a small segment of the cars that are on the road.
So what happens if you're pumping in some higher octane fuel in your vehicle that doesn't require? Does it hurt anything?
Your wallet.
Besides your wallet.
Yeah, no, that's really the only thing that's going to hurt. I mean, it's not going to affect the car per se. You might build up carbon a little more rapidly because the higher octane fuel burns a little bit slower, but for the
burns a little slower.
It does burn slower.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, and that's the misconception. When you see the marketing and stuff, it's use high octane fuel for quick winter starts. It actually burns slower, which you'll know from your race car and stuff. That's how it eliminates the pinging, the knocking. Is the flame front moves slower across the pistons. So, but it won't. You won't notice anything, and no one will ever say, hey, you ruined your engine because you put high octane fuel.
But what about gas mileage? I'm sure people will say, well, I'll get better gas mileage with higher octane.
It's not going to happen.
Or a lot of people,
it isn't there. I'm sorry if I burst someone's bubble.
I was going to say, or a lot of people wish their cars were performance vehicles, and maybe they're like, no, it gives it more power.
Well, yeah, and fuel doesn't make your car a performance vehicle. I mean, it has to need the fuel to be a performance vehicle.
Yeah, you might think you have a vet, but a Chevette does not count as a vet for that kind of fuel.
I just settled some arguments in many households. But yeah, it's. And the other thing too is, and this is where the big misconception comes in, is the octane rating has nothing to do with the quality of the fuel. So in other words, the idea is possibly that the higher octane fuel, it's better fuel, it's better for my car, it has more detergents. There couldn't be anything further from the truth. The only true difference between an 87 octane fuel and a 92 octane fuel is the octane. The quality of the fuel that's in there is going to be equal or the same. So if people get concerned about fuel quality, they want to put better quality fuel that burns cleaner, keeps their engine cleaner and stuff. The best place to go to is toptiergas.com. It's a website, and on that website, we've got it up here on the screen here. If you go to toptiergas.com, you can search gasoline retailers, and what toptiergas.com is some of the leading auto manufacturers put together a specification for fuel, not octane, but in the cleanliness, the detergent and stuff, and this will list the retailers that have that fuel that's cleaner, better.
The quality fuel.
It's the quality fuel, exactly. Great way to put it, Lou. And so toptiergas.com. And the cool part about this is if you're a retailer on here that sells fuel, all fuel that you sell has to meet top tier specifications. So whether it's the 87,
so not just the octane.
Correct. Well, yeah, and there isn't like, okay, this pump has the top tier fuel, but this pump doesn't. All fuel that rolls through there has to meet the specifications. You can see some of the retailers on there as Craig scrolls up and down, but
QT's on there. See that?
It is. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And I think the other one I was looking through there the other day that $9.95.
Delicious.
I saw that coming in this morning. Yeah,
That's
but
kind of
anyway.
cool. Yeah.
Correct.
All
Okay,
right.
what about?
Are they a paid sponsor?
Let's talk about different types of fuel that you can get for your vehicle, because there's some people that still stray away from using ethanol blends. Other people love ethanol blends, especially now when it's getting colder. It's going to be advantageous to have an ethanol blend in your vehicle. What about the ethanol blends?
There's no detriment to your vehicle if you use an ethanol blended fuel. There was way back in the
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day when it came out.
Back when it smelled like grain alcohol when you first started putting it in your car. Because that's what it was. Yeah.
But no, there's no downside to it anymore. I mean, cars are built for it. They're made for it. There is some controversy over the E15, the 15% alcohol, and what that can go in, and we can talk about that in a future show. If you're not sure, I would probably avoid that right now. There's just a lot of controversy there. But the regular ethanol, the 10% ethanol that we've had since the early 80s, it'll work fine.
And that's the least expensive one that's out there.
Exactly. And that's the thing to keep in mind. If you're in the 70% group of cars, which most of us are, buy the cheapest stuff. That's what it boils down to.
Do the same job, right?
Yeah, and you'll see the ethanol stuff might be 89 instead of 87. That doesn't hurt anything.
Okay.
Yeah, just when you pull up to the pump, that's what I do. When I pull up to the pump, if I saw the sign that had the $1.95 or $1.98 out there, I'm looking for which one that is. That's what I want in my car.
Okay. There you go. All right. So if you have any questions, give Ron a call, and the number to call for you, Ron, to give some advice.
It's 225-9090. You can Google Westside Auto Pros. There's all kinds of contact information. We can't hide from Google.
There you go. There you have it, folks. All your questions answered when it comes to what kind of fuel to put in your vehicle. It's 7:20 right now, and we will be right back. You are watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines.